Hello, welcome to this week's lecture. We're going to continue on with some text mining activities. And today I thought I'd give you some tutorials to work through so you could see how actual text mining works. And what we'll actually be doing is sentiment analysis. And so I've provided some links in the Getting Started section for this week. And if you scroll down, the sentiment analysis that we're going to do is this Getting Started link and the customization aspect-based analysis. And so if we go to this first link, it'll look like the following. And so what I wanted to do is kind of point out some things that would make it a little easier as you're going through this, and some, I guess, specifics on what I'm looking for in the assignment this week. So one of the first things you'll need to do is download the Excel add-in, and I've given you a video on that. And so then you'll have a tab called Meaning Cloud, and within Meaning Cloud you'll have the ability to do any of the following. So any kind of text classification, sentiment analysis, language identification, and so on. And then as you go through this, then you're going to do this tutorial. And so once you've put in your license key, you'll have access to all of the different options here. And what we're going to be looking at is some Japanese restaurants in London, and we're going to analyze the reviews on that. And what you'll need to do is download the spreadsheet by clicking on this link. So any of these orange letters here are links for you to use in case you get lost or don't have something as we're going along. So you're going to download a restaurant reviews Excel spreadsheet. Once you download and open that file, you're going to see something like the following. So the name of the restaurant and then the actual review here. So you'll work your way through this tutorial, and you'll provide this information. Make sure you pay attention to the check boxes, and then do the analysis settings, and you'll just fill it out exactly how you're doing. See it on the screen. And then once you hit the Analyze button, it's going to produce two new sheets, a global sentiment analysis and a topic sentiment analysis. You should spend some time and look at each one of those and see what kind of results that it's generating. And then you're going to create a pivot table from one of those new worksheets that the sentiment analysis created. And what you're going to create is going to look something similar to this. So I don't want you to actually just download the results and then show me this pivot table. In fact, I don't want you to change any of the colors. So the colors I'll be looking for, let me get over here, will look something like this. And so I want a pivot table that's similar to this, and the output would be like this. Okay? So notice you can sort these restaurants over here on the side so they're in the same order as you see in the tutorial. All right, so I want everything very similar. That's what I'll be looking for to know that you did this first tutorial. All right, so let me just, if we click here, show you the field. So what I've got is in the columns, I've got polarity, in the rows I've got ID, and then the summation panel I've got the count of polarity. So fairly easy to do. Hopefully that'll give everybody all the points associated for that one. Then the second tutorial can be found here. And in this second tutorial, you're going to create a dictionary that you're going to use with your sentiment analysis. And that will change the way the output is done a little bit. So follow along in that. Add your entries. The thing here is that you can add these entries and do what they're saying, but you can also download this file, and so you can download that. It'll be restaurants.tsv, and then you can import it in. And so if you're following along and doing this, you'll have to go back and delete some of the duplicate entries here. But that's fairly easy to do. Just look for the little garbage can out to the side. All right, so what we're doing is we're just looking at dish and quality. All right. So once that's all done, go through there. You just do the same selections again, and then you're going to filter your output. All right. So if you look at the topic sentiment analysis, and that's the name of the worksheet, notice this has a number 1 out to the side of it. So there's actually 2 topic sentiment analyses that I have so far in this spreadsheet. The first one was generated from the first tutorial. The second one here, this global sentiment analysis and this topic sentiment analysis, was generated from the second analysis using the dictionary. So that's what you want to use. And when you go to data and click on filter, it's going to turn these drop down boxes or selection options on for you. And what you're going to be looking at when you go to topic, or type rather, get this over for you. You see I've got my little filter there. You're going to unselect all of them, and then you just want to look at I can find it here. Near the bottom, we're looking for restaurants first. There we are. The restaurants and dish and the restaurants and quality. And so that's all you're looking at, and then that's what you're going to create some more pivot tables with. And so the pivot tables that I'm looking for on this particular one, you're going to generate this particular pivot table. And I can show you how to do that if we look at the fields again. So in this particular one, I think it's this one. Yeah. We've got ID and form in here. We got polarity up here for my columns, and then we got counter polarity. And what I did is I copied this particular chart. This is a pivot chart, and I pasted it below here, and then I modified it. So I modified it by changing the chart type. And you can do that underneath design. You go to chart type and select bar and do the clustered bar. You also at that point would need to change, since I've got that selected, you need to change this around. So this one has ID first and then form. Polarity up here for columns and counter polarity. And they actually walk you through that in the tutorial, but it may not seem obvious on what you're doing it on. So I'll be looking for 2 more pivot charts that look similar to what I have here. So I want you just to look at those and think about what it's saying. Think about the polarity here. So the polarity is how much it's, if it's positive or negative. If you have any U, could be neutral, depending on how you set it up. But I wanted us to do these tutorials so that you would have some aspect of, okay, if you wanted to do some text mining, this is one product that will allow you to do it, and the steps and things that you go through, and what kind of information it might, bring back to you so that you can make some more predictions with that. And so that's what I'm looking for in these pivot tables. Make sure you put a title on there, and you have legends, which I need to know which one's quality, which one's dishes. I didn't put the title in on my pivot table, but you should have had practice doing that, so you should be able to do that. And that's all we're doing for the week. And I will discuss in the getting started area what we will do the following week. It's probably time to have some exams.